Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, here in beautiful Maine, but the world does not take vacation and neither do we. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we talk about the master of disaster herself, Kamala Harris, make sure to click on that link below and sign up for an insider trading free webinar that you're going to absolutely love. Imagine having the same kind of insider trading information that Nancy Pelosi has, but getting it legally and ethically. Well, guess what, gang? That's exactly what you're going to learn all about in this free training. It's this Thursday, July 25th. At 3 p.m. Eastern. It's hosted by my good friend Ross Givens. Ross is an insider trading expert whose recommendations have led to investment returns of over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%. It's going to be an amazing free training where you can learn how to trade with the exact same insider knowledge as these politicians, but legally and ethically. So don't wait. Seating registration is limited, so click on that link below right now and register today. It should be an amazing event. All right, gang, so let's chat about the master of disaster herself, unburdened by the past, Kamala Harris. When all said and done, I'm just going to say it here. When all said and done, this is probably the greatest gift we could have possibly gotten for November. Let's start with whether or not she's going to be the nominee. Right now, she is the most obvious alternative to Biden, and that's because there are some very clear strictures in terms of what the Biden campaign can do with the $90 million they have left over. So as I understand, Fox News was reporting on this. Right now, Biden's team has about 90 mil cash on hand. Keep in mind, Biden has already spent tens of millions of dollars. He's outspent Trump 6-1. I know I see Biden's commercials literally every single day on Pennsylvania television. He's already spent tens of millions of dollars only to see Trump's lead increase over the last several weeks. Again, just stunning. And it's the main reason why the donors pulled out, right? They were seeing the Biden campaign really as nothing more than a sinking ship. So here's the key. Here's how you know it's going to be Kamala in November. Who is the only candidate who can access that 90 mil? Remember, that's 90, it doesn't go back to the donors, right? There's no legal requirement whatsoever to send it back to donors. The only one besides Joe who has access to that 90 mil is Kamala. When the Biden for President Committee filed its registration statement with the FEC, it registered itself as the principal campaign committee for both Biden and Harris. So she's the only one who has access to that money, period. No other candidate under FEC regulations, no other candidate can touch that money. So that's why I think it's a pretty safe bet that Kamala is going to be the candidate. So when we see her up against Trump, we're going to see her as up against the Godzilla of politics. So this is going to be amazing. Take a look at this, gang. This is Cackle's Kamala's favorability rating. According to over 100 polls averaged out. There's 100 polls averaged out. This according to Decision Desk. Right now, if you can believe it, she's actually polling lower than Sleepy Joe. She's at 37.7% favorability. Gang, that's an unmitigated disaster. No one wins a presidential election with that low of favorability. Of all the options to Biden, Kamala is by far the weakest, and the numbers show it, with the exception, one exception is Pete Buttigieg. Trump's vote share is the highest when he's polled next to Kamala. Take a look at this. Look at the swing states, gang. This is from Insider Advantage, just dropped last night, one of the better polling firms out there. Look at this. When Trump is facing off with Biden, he's +5, +4, +3 throughout the swing states. Look at what happens when he's matched up with Harris. It's Trump +10, +6, +7. It's insane. And the Trump campaign hasn't even begun spending its hundreds of millions of dollars to take her down with ads like this.
Kamala was in on it. She covered up Joe's obvious mental decline.
Our president is in good shape, in good health, tireless, vibrant, and I have no doubt about the strength of the work that we have done.
But Kamala knew Joe couldn't do the job, so she did it. Look what she got done. A border invasion, runaway inflation, the American dream dead. They created this mess. Kamala owns this failed record. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
In the end, all the Trump campaign has to do is basically remind us all of one thing. What's been the single issue that Kamala's been in charge of her entire vice presidency? Kamala's been in charge of one thing. What is it? Just one thing. The southern border. Now just imagine if Kamala is in charge of everything. If the one thing she's been in charge of has been such an unmitigated disaster, just imagine what will happen if she's in charge of everything. This is why the entire editorial board of the New York Times, the slimes at the Times, want Harris gone. They literally want anyone but Harris because they know, again, they're reading the numbers here, they know she is entirely unelectable. And again, it's worse than that. It's worse, no matter who the Democrats put in here. No matter, even if they were to pull off a win, that win will be seen by tens of millions as completely illegitimate because this is not the person that millions of Democrats voted for to be their nominee. Whoever their nominee is about to be selected, not elected. And again, here, Kamala's the worst of them all. She's never even come close to winning a primary ever. Either as a candidate back in 2020, she actually had to bow out of that race because her polling was so ridiculously embarrassing, or as the current nominee, which again, she's getting by selection, not election. So no matter what, no matter who they put up, that person is going to be seen as completely illegitimate by tens of millions of voters, many of whom are going to be Democrats, who once again have been disenfranchised by the elites in their own party. So it's not just Kamala that's a disaster. It is this whole thing, this whole scenario is a disaster. This is the Democrats' worst nightmare coming true. And even on vacation, I can't help but savor the moment with you.